Helen Burns.
Hey, looking forward to this?
Hello.
Apparently Nora's only got one line.
Now, it's a great pleasure to present Miss Nora Johnson in Jane Eyre. Thank you. Lights.
In this school. To think that I'll have to go through life without you. Oh, don't cough, Helen. Every cough breaks my aching heart. Just have a glass of water.
Should arrest him now.
Scotland Yard will be here soon, and they've asked us to wait, Ethan.
The Americans are moving out today. By tonight, he could be in a different country.
Is there anything you would like to say to your dear Jane before you leave me, Helen? You are my kindest friend.
What was that? You couldn't hear me! No, stop it!
Sir Philip Stark?
Yes. What on earth's going on?
Stop the film, please. What? Stop the film!
On what?
Right, where are they, Sir Philip?
Yes.
Ah. Eric and Betty Johnson?
Yes?
Colonel Beresford, MI6. You are under arrest for the murder of Ada Beresford and the abduction of Mrs Lancaster.
There must be some mistake.
You're not obliged to say anything. Take them out.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, would you mind leaving now, please?
Am I Commandant Bow Repair? No.
No!
That's not me.
It's not him. He comes from Luton.
For the past 12 years, correspondence has been addressed to him, Commandant Bow Repair, at your address.
Yes, that's right.
Well, who picks it up?
We're not gossips.
No.
Never.
No.
It's easy to gossip if you deal with the post, and we don't do it.
Who picks it up?
Only Commandant Bow Repair I know is the name of the rose. The red and white one. Round here they call it the York and Lancaster, the Tudor rose.
Nellie Bly picks it up.
Would you allow me to lead this investigation, please, darling?
She's right.
We think it's the code name for Nellie Bly's fancy man.
Oh, no. No, it's the code name she uses when she's dealing with the old lady who she hides away in an old people's home. I saw this on her desk yesterday.
But this refers to the care of a Mrs York, not Lancaster.
I think she'd use both York and Lancaster, maybe alternating between them whenever she moved home. We thought the roses in the painting meant Rose Waters, but they don't. They mean the old lady herself. Did Miss Packard give a good description of the Mrs Johnson and other names stolen from the village who came to pick the old lady up?
Yes. Yes. Did she give a good description?
Please, sir.
It couldn't have been Nellie Bly, because she was helping Septimus with a sermon that night.
Oh, no, Tuppence. Septimus and Nellie have a cold marriage. On the surface, the writing of the sermon is a lie to hide the fact that Septimus spends every night with the one woman in the village who really loves him. Hannah. The Blys were anxious that this adultery didn't get back to the bishop, for if it did, he would lose his living. But once you've unpicked that lie, the person left without an alibi is Nellie. This has been Nellie all along. It was she who had the best access to Sir Philip's car. She who corresponded with the solicitor, no doubt she who tried to scare us off last night, and she who took Mrs Lancaster from Sunnyridge.
Mrs Packard describes her as early 40s, 5 foot 5 inches, brown eyes, and always wears glasses.
Mr. Policeman,
What is it?
Nellie Bly's dead, sir.
What happened?
She's been run over, sir.
It's got to be Chris Murphy, sir. He left the film before anyone else, and these Americans drive their trucks like lunatics.
By the state of her injuries, it is a heavy vehicle, sir. It could easily have been the truck.
What's the name?
Chris Murphy, sir.
Where are these Americans based?
I'll take you there myself, sir.
It was an accident. Honestly. I didn't see her. I just didn't see her. I thought I'd hit a pothole or something, you know, an animal. But when I got out, Mrs. Bly was at the side of the road.
Why didn't you report this accident?
Because it wasn't an accident, sir. I think that somehow, in some way, which I'm sure will be revealed by somebody, you were in league with Nellie Bly.
To do what?
You went with her to Sunnyridge. And when the truth was about to be exposed, and before you tried to leave the country, you took your truck and you murdered her with it. Or how do you explain the presence of your cap in Sir Philip Stark's Bentley?
Because you'd put it there, hadn't you, Ethan? Hadn't you? To blacken the name of your rival for Rose. You've been trying to shift suspicion onto Chris from the beginning of the investigation.
It's probable that Nellie Bly was not working alone, so let's check her husband, her employer, and anybody else who may have a link to this Mrs Lancaster. Darling, you can leave this to us now. Please.
Are you English, Chris?
Half. My parents divorced and I went to live with my dad when I was 10.
And who's Sylvia? Was she the woman you arranged to pick up at 8 p.m. last Saturday? Who is she, Chris? Is she your mother? Where does she live?
London. They wouldn't let me have a car, so I went on the train. You know, ever since I've been here, I've been trying to find her. Trying to get the courage to go and see her. She had another family. She didn't want to know.
And you're ashamed of this? Ashamed of telling Rose? Why?
It appears that you are off the hook. That was the hospital on the telephone. Nellie Bly was not killed in the accident. She was dead before you hit her. She had been poisoned.
I'm thinking Nellie didn't do this alone.
So who was helping her?
Well, whose car was it?
Who didn't report it missing?
Who was Nellie Bly in love with? So much so that she tolerated her husband living with another woman?
Sir Philip Stark. But he didn't go to Sunnyridge with her. He was at the Emporium when she would have to have been on the road.
What was he buying? Stocking up on basic provisions because he was expecting a sudden guest.
Mrs Lancaster. If only I could have another look at Nellie's desk at the manor, I'm sure I'd find lots of papers relating to Mrs Lancaster. Papers that would draw a straight line to Philip Stark and reveal who this Mrs Lancaster really is.
Oh, I know who she is. Don't you?
Who?
I just don't know where to find her. Why are the bells ringing at this time of night?
What on earth's going on?
It's Septimus, sir. You've got to come. He wants all